Welcome learners in the series of videos on topology. We are dealing with compact spaces and this is video number 59 in this entire series on topology. You can check this in the playlist. Okay, so in the previous video we have defined limit point compact spaces and sequentially compact spaces, and we proved that every compact topological space is limit point compact. And as we said, let us prove today a theorem which says every limit point compact matrix space, say X, is sequentially compact. So every limit point compact matrix space is sequentially compact. Again, I would like to stress on the word matrix space. Okay, so we need to show that limit point compact matrix space is sequentially compact, and as we know the definition of limit point compact and sequentially compact, let us try to prove now. So to show that the space X is sequentially compact, let us take a sequence in space X, and we need to show that it has a convergent subsequence. Okay, so let us take a sequence. Let Xn be a sequence in X. Let us take a sequence in X. Now remember, we need to show that this has a convergent subsequence. Okay, and what hypothesis we have is X is limit point compact, and the definition of limit point compact, it says every infinite set has a limit point. Okay, so since this is a sequence, let us take a range set of this. So let us take A. Let A is equals to all these points from the sequence, and of course this will be subset of X. So there are two cases. Since we have taken any general sequence, it may happen that A is finite, or it can be like A is infinite, right? It is based on the sequence. We are taking the range set of that sequence. Okay, so there are two cases. Let us take case 1. Case 1, A is finite. What happens if A is finite? Now, for example, we have a sequence. Of course, it has infinite number of terms. Let me stress the word terms in the sequence. But it may happen that since A is finite and there are infinite number of terms, it will happen like some terms will be repeated again and again. Right? For example, if you have a sequence, let's write here xn is equals to -1 raised to n. This is a sequence. Now, what is A for this sequence? It is 1 or -1. If I compare this xn with this A will be 1 or -1, because when n equals to 1, it is -1. N equals to 2, it will be plus 1. N equals to 3, -1, and so on. So it alternates. Correct? So in this, if I compare this with this, we will have 1 and -1 as a range set. So in this case, this 1 is repeated infinitely many times. Also, -1 is also repeated infinitely many times. Okay, so what happens here, if A is finite, there will be some terms which are repeated infinitely many number of times, and we will take that as a subsequence of that. So A is finite, then there exist the terms, say n1 which is less than, say, n2, less than n3, less than, and so on, such that say x n1 will be same as x n2 will be same as, and so on, and let us take that to be equals to x. all the terms are same. Let us take that to be x, and hence we can say that then the sequence, or let me write subsequence x and k by using this, and of course the variable over here is k from 1 to infinity converges to x. It's a constant sequence which is convergent, and we are done. For this sequence we got a subsequence which is convergent, and hence that will be sequentially compact space. Okay, and that will be for the case 1, that is A is finite. We are interested in the case 2 wherein A is infinite. Say case 2, A is infinite. What happens if A is infinite? That means the range set, this set is infinite set. So you may have a term which is repeated infinitely many times, you may not have, so we cannot say directly, we cannot conclude anything directly. Okay, in short. So let's go ahead and use the hypothesis of the theorem. What we have is the space X is limit point compact, and in this case we have A which is infinite. So since X is limit point compact and A is infinite, we can say that A has a limit point. Okay, and then we can use that to get the subsequence. So since A is infinite and since X is limit point compact, this implies there exists some point x belonging to X. There is a point in X such that X is limit point of A. Okay, now remember I am using X, also we have X here, but these X are different. Okay, if you want, let me write this as x naught, x suffix 0. Okay, because those are different, maybe same, may not be same, we don't know. So let us write x naught. So there is a point x naught such that x naught is a limit point of A. So by the definition of limit point of A, hence or let me not write by definition and all, because already we know that we are smart people now. So hence every neighborhood of x naught, every neighborhood of x naught, this point x naught contains this result also we have proved, contains infinitely many points of A. Okay, so every neighborhood of x naught contains infinitely many points of A. Okay, so we'll use the induction and find the subsequence as follows. So let me write by induction, we choose say n1 less than n2 less than nk less than as follows. Okay, we will choose that as follows. So let me draw a diagram just for simple understanding. Let us take this to be our whole space. This is our whole space. Okay, this is X. In X we had a sequence, and for that sequence we had set A. Okay, so let us take this set to be A. Okay, and then we have the X as a limit point of A. Okay, so X can be anywhere, but when we say X is say here, every neighborhood of X should contain a point of A other than x naught or X. Okay, so let us take that point X to be somewhere inside A only. So let us take that point to be x here. Okay. So what it says, if we take any neighborhood of x, it will contain infinitely many points of A. Okay. So let's move ahead now. Since let us take a ball around x of radius say 1. Okay. It may be smaller, but let us try to write that way. So let us take a ball around x of radius 1. This is 1. Okay. So this ball will contain infinitely many points of A. So let us try it. Since ball around x naught is x naught we have taken. So ball around x naught of radius 1 intersection with A is non-empty, that is it contains infinitely many points of A. We can say that there exist say n1 in natural number such that this point of the sequence xn1 from here xn1 belongs to ball around x of radius 1. Okay. So we have somewhere xn1. It contains infinite many points, remember. Okay. So similarly ball around x naught of radius half intersection A is also non-empty because of the same result. This implies it contains infinitely many points, right? It contains infinitely many points. So we will choose a point from this A which is not equal to xn1. So this implies there exists say xn2 not equals to xn1 such that xn2 belongs to ball around x naught of radius half, and such that this n2 is greater than n1. We can do this because there are infinitely many points. Okay, so we can do this. So by assumption, let us assume that we have done this. So assume by induction that we have chosen say n1 using the same arguments, n1 which is less than n2 which is less than n3 and less than say n suffix m, such that this x and m belongs to ball around x naught of radius 1 upon m intersection A. And of course this x and m will not be equals to any of the previous terms which we have taken from this sequence. Okay. Also again note that even if we have chosen one point, we have this intersection to be even if we change any other neighborhood, the intersection will be infinite, right? Again note that ball around x naught of radius, even if I go closer to x naught say m plus 1, intersection with A is infinite, right? This is infinite. Again we can find the neighborhood, right? So this is infinite, and also we can find the points which are we can remove this point, still it will be infinite, right? From an infinite set, even if you remove some finite numbers, still it will be infinite. So hence ball around x naught of radius 1 upon m plus 1 intersection with A, and from this we can remove the previous terms say xn1 xn2 whatever point we have chosen earlier, x and m, still this will be infinite. Since it's infinite, we can find another point. So hence there exists, say, n, m is already there, so n m plus 1, suffix m plus 1 belonging to natural number such that x n m plus 1 belongs to ball around x naught of radius 1 upon m plus 1 intersection with a difference xn1, xn2 and xnm. Okay, so this implies what? This implies this xn m plus 1 suffix, remember x suffix and suffix m plus 1, this belongs to ball around this it belongs to a difference x1, sorry, xn1, xn2, xnm. So of course this implies this xnm plus 1 cannot be equals to xn1 or xn2 or xnm, correct? And hence we can say that this n m plus 1 is greater than n m. So what we got is this also we have written already, right? xn1 belongs to this, so let us write that also. So also let us write this again, x n m plus 1 belongs to ball around x naught of radius 1 upon m plus 1 intersection e. So hence by induction we got the sequence, right? Hence by induction we have subsequence say x n k from 1 to infinity. We can continue like this, so infinity such that this x and k will belong to ball around x naught of radius 1 upon k and intersection e. So what happens here? As we go closer and closer, let me go to the diagram. And show you. So we have one point here. If we check, if we choose another radius, say half, you will still have one point here, xn2, right? If you go further, if you select say 1/3, still you have a point. If you select smaller one, still you have points. So as you go smaller and smaller to this, so that is when you reduce your radius by which is smaller and go to 0, then the sequence will converge to x. Okay, so that this implies we can say that x and k converge to this point x naught as k goes to infinity. And let me take this for you to prove. Okay, so for this sequence xn in this matrix space, which is limit point compact, we have taken a sequence xn, and for that sequence we found a subsequence which converges to point x naught. Okay, and hence we can say that this x is sequentially compact, right? We assume that this x is matrix space which is limit point compact, and we proved that it is sequentially compact. And by using this theorem as a corollary, we can say that every compact matrix space is sequentially compact. Okay, and we will use, we can say, or we can prove the Hen-Burrows theorem. That we'll do in the next video. Okay, till then, stay safe.